All right, everybody, welcome to Artizm episode 32. Today we have the creator of Moonface and many other things, Atlin.
Hello.
Hello, indeed. What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Today's my sister's birthday, actually. That's where I was. I was in the city having dinner.
Oh, tell her happy birthday for me.
Yep, I'll tell her. Ed Atlin said happy birthday. She's going to freak out because she has no idea who you are. She's like, why would a stranger tell me happy birthday? It's odd.
Oh, you didn't play that talkie about Rocky for her, did you?
Oh, no, that was for my mom. Because me and my mom drove back home. She lives in the city. So, yeah.
Okay.
But
should we explain that? Because what was before we were
Yeah. So, Talking About Rocky is Ed's new, commentary series. Are you going to switch the actors up each time?
Yeah, it'll be something different each time.
Is it going to be almost rhyme each time?
Yeah, it'll be just like making up nonsense between two character voices.
Yeah.
Is what so that latest one, that talkie about Rocky thing, is just, I basically came up with that while driving in my car, just talking back and forth like, hey Rocky, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Just switching back and forth between voices. So
and the best is there's so many callbacks to your old videos within it.
Oh yeah, that's mostly what I do, is constant calling back to other things that I've done.
I mean, you also I was just, when I first kind of stumbled upon you, I saw your channel. I was like, oh my god, there's so much. And then I find Space Tree, and I'm like, what? How?
Oh yeah, there's 60 more.
Yeah. How long
episodes
have you been animating for?
Well, I guess Space Tree was 2004. I guess I started that. I probably made a few things before Space Tree, but I don't. That's so long ago now. They're not worth mentioning. Space Tree is probably the earliest thing worth mentioning.
Geez, so it's been 13 years.
Yeah, I probably started a year or two before Space. Actually, no, Space Tree was pretty early. Probably only a year before Space Tree. I probably started doing Flash animation.
Damn. So with what you have, you haven't uploaded an animation in a while. Can we expect to see more, or are you moving on to greener pastures, stuff like that?
I mean, I always kind of go on and off with the animating, so now I'm kind of off in an off period where I haven't animated stuff for a while, but I'm sure I'll go back to it at some point.
Yeah. And
I have to relearn how to animate. With
the Moonface series and the Shoe series and the Tutu and Candice Lou's series, each of them is 8 episodes. So is Moonface over?
Oh, well, see, I think that's season 1 of Moonface.
Okay,
so
got it.
When I make more, I'll call it season 2.
Okay, good.
It ended on a weird note.
Yeah, I didn't want it to end. And also Candice Lou's. I love how each series just builds upon the characters from the last series. So it's just unrelated.
Yeah, a lot of them are kind of spin-offs of things that I've made before.
Yeah. So even all the way back to Space Tree, the Commander character is basically just stuck around the entire time.
Oh yeah. He's probably my longest surviving character, I guess. Yeah.
Do you just make characters and then the ones you like, you keep them and everybody else leaves?
Yeah, I guess I keep kind of bringing back characters if I feel like there's more that I could explore with that character. I'll bring him back and try to find out something else I could do with him.
I feel also with the roster on Moonface, just with Tutu, because he's my favorite and probably everybody's favorite character.
Oh yeah,
there's just so much to do just with the voice alone.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite voice to do.
Yeah,
it's the Tutu voice.
You just gotta kind of flex your abs and just yeah.
Should we explain what Space Tree and Moonface and stuff is?
Yeah,
for
yeah.
The podcast?
You can give a little bit of context
because we're kind of talking about him as if everybody listening knows. I'm sure some of them do, but I don't know if everyone does, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Go ahead.
Because Space Tree was a cartoon I made from 2004 to 2006, maybe 2007. It kind of for a while it was a weekly cartoon. that I did because I had a lot more free time and didn't have to pay a lot of bills back then.
Yeah, I was gonna say it must have been intense.
Yeah, well, I had nothing else to do at the time, so it was easier to do a weekly Flash cartoon. But yeah, I probably did that weekly for like I feel like I did it for about a year, and then the updates got a lot more infrequent, and it just kind of trailed off at the end.
Yeah, and then
but that was okay. There are still people who like only know me from Space Tree, I think.
Really? I was gonna say
like, people still mention it sometimes.
I was watching it just now, and I was like, I watched episode 59, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm just like, what? Why?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Remind me, what's episode 59? Like, it's been a while since I watched the Space Tree stuff.
Just like the rats have taken over, and like they just killed the rat queen, and you don't find out what happens, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I never did it's like, what's it called? Something, They Got Johnny Part 1.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and there's no Part 2.
Did you ever like write out what happens or no?
Oh yeah, it was fully like recorded, and I just never animated it.
Oh man. Are you gonna eventually do it, or do you want to give away the ending here?
I think back at the time, I at some point I'm pretty sure I posted like an animatic version of it.
Oh no shit!
To show how it would have ended. Yeah, I don't know where it is at this point.
Okay, got it.
If it's on there is another episode after that though. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, that's
I think
59,
it's called
right?
Like I skipped over the next number.
I think it was 57 to 59. I forget what happens then. But
yeah, as if there was like a part 2 that was just a missing episode.
Yeah.
That's why I numbered it that way.
So like,
but
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I did do some other like Space Tree stuff since then as well. There was one episode there was one episode I made like that was on it's not on the Space Tree YouTube channel. It's kind of like hidden away now because I was kind of embarrassed by it. I don't know.
Yeah. How do you go about like writing the whole series? Like, do you have like this set list of characters and you have your sense of humor? What's your process for writing? Do you kind of just like riff and improv, or is it more of like a set thing?
Well, stuff like Space Tree and Moonface, that stuff's all like scripted. Like it's mostly like characters talking to each other, so that kind of stuff is pretty easy to write. For me, at least, just like two characters talking back and forth. Like I don't write a lot of like super crazy action cartoony stuff, like because I'm not that great of an animator, so I'm best at animating characters talking to each other.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, but I think even like good dialogue and like really, really funny material can be stuff that's like, I don't know. Like for me, I'm the same way. Like when I write, it's like I've never spent like a long time on a comedy script. Like I don't understand how people do it, because like when I write, I just like write the full thing in like a couple sittings. So I don't know.
And like even though it's scripted, when I record it, I end up changing dialogue and stuff. Like I don't usually like read it exactly as written.
I do the same thing. You just kind of you realize that you wrote it not so naturally sounding, and especially with somebody like Tutu, you're probably like, yeah.
Oh yeah, that character says a lot of weird things like that. When you're reading like that character's lines, he usually doesn't talk as written.
Yeah, yeah. Do you do that voice like in real life, just like joking around with friends and stuff?
Oh, not really. Only like to myself in secret.
Just like alone.
Yeah, I really don't do it like in public or anything. It's only I can only do it over the internet through a layer of invisibility.
That's funny. Because like I would think that like, were you like a funny kid like growing up? Like, were you like a kid always making jokes or no?
Yeah, I always was a weird, probably doing voices and stuff, but I used to be. Like now I don't really like. Now I kind of keep all this stuff like a secret from people in real life. Like I'm like embarrassed if anyone ever brings up like, hey, let's watch one of your YouTube videos right here. Like that's always just embarrassing, and I want to just jump out the window.
Really, even like Moonface or something.
Yeah, a little. Just because I voice every character and I can hear myself.
Yeah.
Although I do. If I watch Moonface, like something like that by myself, I can usually forget that I voiced all the characters because
you do a pretty good job from your normal voice. like differentiating them?
I try to make him for the most part not really sound like me, so I can kind of forget.
Yeah, so the memories can go away.
But and also because when I'm like animating it, I have to hear those lines over and over. So times. It helps that I'm not hearing my own voice.
I definitely agree, but also at the same time with voice acting, it's like I don't want to trust other people to do it because like with me, I can at least tell myself to do it like until I get it right. But with other people, I don't want to be like again like 100 times.
Oh yeah. That's kind of one reason why, for the most part, I do all the voices myself. It's just easier. I mean, I do like it when I get other people to do voices. It's just often easier to do it myself.
Yeah. So how did you originally get into animation and Newgrounds? Did you originally post your stuff on Newgrounds, or was it always YouTube?
What was this? I was talking about Newgrounds. My old Newgrounds account is probably still up. But that's one of those things where it's like I'm so far removed from it now that like I'd be too embarrassed to look at that. I'm gonna list everything that I'm embarrassed by during this podcast.
Just like how to embarrass Ed if you see him in public. This podcast will tell you.
Well, I mean, basically, like all the stuff on my YouTube channel, I'm okay with, but there's older stuff than that is more embarrassing if I ever watch it.
Even the tutorials, just like showing those to your friends.
I would never want to be in the same room as someone watching that, but
is that how
but I can forget.
Is that how Tutu's voice was kind of birthed? Because you see the first tutorial, it's kind of his voice, but it's like deeper because you have it.
Yeah,
like,
the voice has really evolved over the time, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of the tutorial video is kind of spun off from. Have you seen Iglooz's?
Yeah, a little bit.
It kind of spun off of there.
Okay.
Because if you hear like listen to like the first Iglooz's, the voice is like, "Huh, Igloo, what's up?" And then like you go to like the last Iglooz's, and it's just totally like morphed into the Tutu voice.
Yeah.
So it kind of. And I think so that there's Igloos videos. It's like two igloos with mouths just talking back and forth. Yeah. And they're all like none of that is scripted either. It's any video where it's just like two characters talking back and forth on my YouTube channel. It's usually not scripted.
Yeah.
It's just me making shit up. But so I think the tutorial videos were like they kind of started because it was it was like the first time I got a phone that had a camera in it, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like the first time I had a video camera, like, and I just wanted to record something, and I just decided on the spot to do that voice.
How many copies of Unbreakable did you have to buy?
I know it. People always ask that because it seems like there's way more than there actually is.
Yeah.
It's like, because if you go through all the videos, I've probably only broken like 5 or 6 copies. Yeah. I mean, I know it's weird buying the same disc over and over.
Yeah. I would love it if you went to the same video store and it was like the same guy checking you out. He's like,
yeah, I have bought copies from the same store. They restock them pretty quickly.
Yeah, but I would love it if it was the same guy just looking at you each time.
Yeah.
You like this movie a lot, huh? You're just like,
yeah. At a certain point, I was just kind of buying a copy if I ever saw one, just thinking like, I'll use this later on at some point.
Yeah,
I'll get some use out of it, you know.
Exactly. And that chair, do you still have the wonderful chair that you destroyed?
There was actually 2 of them because no, I don't have the chair anymore. I threw it out at some point because it was kind of ridiculous how long I had this cut up old chair sitting there.
So, did you ever watch a How to Basic video before doing those, or are you How to Basic?
No, I think didn't I do the tutorial videos before How to Basic?
I didn't check the dates. I didn't check the dates, so I can't.
Well, I only know about How to Basic because other people like always mention it in comments.
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure I was first, not to be like, not that it matters. I don't know if he was, I don't know if that guy was, he probably wasn't influenced by me at all. Like I would believe it if he said he didn't know who I was. But
call him out. You were the first to smash things for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely the first to smash things in videos. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, I haven't watched How to Basic in like a couple years now. Does he?
He still
do that,
uploads. Yeah.
He like breaks eggs and stuff.
Yeah, they're like more abstract now because I suppose when you do it for so long, you have to kind of go crazier or else people get bored. But it's like somehow he's managed to stay entertaining.
And I don't know if people actually believe that I'm him because other people have asked, "Am I that guy?"
But he records in Australia too. Like he's
but like also his videos have like millions of views and like he makes money off them.
Yeah, see, so that could be
those things.
That could be why you're not uploading because you're busy like making money off your How to Basic channel.
If you look at anything I make, it's pretty clear I'm not good at like marketing myself or I do like different weird videos all the time.
It is crazy because Moonface is like so well done and like I feel like I feel like it could like blow up if just seen by the right people because it's hilarious. I mean,
well, thanks. It probably took the most work out of any of the cartoons I've done for sure.
Yeah, it was probably. How did you get the original idea for Moonface?
It's another one that like spun off of another video, of course, because the whole Moonface thing was come up with in one of the tutorial videos.
Oh shit! Okay,
I kind of like if you look back through like tutorial videos, like I don't even know which specific videos it happens in, but you can see like the origin of like Tutu and Candy Slaws, the origin of Moonface, like they're all just like come up with during some of those videos. Yeah,
and there's like so many recurring themes too, like the eye being closed and the eye patch and like
there's blood. A lot of
the callback to Sam Rockwell in the movie Moon.
Yeah, I constantly. Yeah, the Sam Rockwell thing would have come up with. I'm pretty sure that was in a tutorial video first as well. Like how to draw the moon or something. I don't even remember them as well as like other people do who watch the tutorial videos. Because I don't, to be honest, I don't like watch my own videos over and over.
Yeah, I mean that would be that much. So. That'd be a little bit odd, I guess, but I don't know.
And it's especially the tutorial, especially the tutorial ones. It's kind of hard to remember like specifically what happened in what video. Like I'm opening up the list now of tutorial videos, and there's ones on this list that like I don't even remember what happens in them. Yeah, it's all just kind of happened in a blur, and then I edited it and uploaded it, and then that was it.
Yeah, you have so many, and I assume it's just you doing the like it's not scripted at all, and it's like you're just like, oh, let me find something to break, and I'll do that and stuff a beer.
Yeah, that was pretty much it I would pretty much just find something in the house and be like, yeah, I can kind of work this into, I can work this whatever this picture of Natalie Portman or whatever into a video, like or this DVD or like.
What I love is the Jesus one. The comments on it are just golden. They're hilarious.
Oh yeah, they still like pretty frequently get weird comments like fuck you. This is offensive to Jesus.
Like Jesus, you're going to hell. And I'm just sitting there like, if you took like, how do you take this man seriously? It's crazy.
Yeah, like none of those comments bother me because they're so like ridiculous.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, I mean, like harmless. Like, I'm not like trying to be offensive or anything. It's pretty harmless.
Exactly.
Also, why is it like offensive though? Is it because just the fact that I'm drawing Jesus? Is that why it's offensive?
The fact that
in their mind, I mean, like, why is it offensive to them?
I don't know. I think it's like you're joking. The fact that you're joking about Jesus, I guess, like because clearly they're conscious enough to know it's a joke, you know. Bless them. But like, just can't. I guess joking about Jesus isn't cool, you know. Which is.
I guess if they must have like found the video because they were searching for an actual tutorial for how to draw Jesus.
That's probably why, because people who are crazy enough to search stuff like how to draw Jesus are the ones who are crazy enough to comment shit like that. So yeah,
and they're mad that like it's this weirdo breaking an egg on a piece of paper.
Exactly.
Finish your egg, Jesus.
Yeah. So, do you have any prospective plans for like another spin-off series or the second season of Moonface, like ideas? I know you said you're taking a little bit of time off, but any like, you know.
Yeah, I want to do more like Moonface stuff at some point. It's just it takes like so long and to make that stuff. And like, my favorite stuff to make is really the stuff that like doesn't take a long time, and I just kind of do it, and then it's finished.
Yeah, like what you're doing now, basically.
Yeah, so that stuff, that Rocky thing that I just uploaded, like I just record that and then edit it and then upload it, and then that's it, like in a few hours, basically. Like,
yeah, and it's like it's clearly not as well. It's a different kind of funny, but like it makes me laugh just as much as a Moonface episode will, which is nice. Like, and I think what everybody seeks to get out of it is like the gratification of people finding your stuff funny, I think. So if you get that accomplished with less work, more power to you.
Yeah, it's kind of stuff like Igloos was like that as well. Like, it's not really like animated. I'm just moving the mouths of those igloos, basically. Like the stuff that are just two characters talking back and forth is kind of the most fun to make. Yeah,
like, so basically, do you find yourself stronger at improv or stronger at like writing, or is like you're writing like based off of improv that you've done like in your head?
Yeah, it is kind of like a combination. Well, also, I'm not that. Like it is improvised, but I'm also editing out like I couldn't do it. I could never do it live because there are parts where I like fuck up what I'm saying, or like I have to stop and think about what I can say next.
Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better that you're not just like a genius who's just like spitting out shit without trying.
The thing of Tutu talking to Rocky is like that's all like edited and stuff.
Okay, that's good because Tears of Joy made me laugh too much.
Oh yeah, plus there's a lot of moments where I'm like laughing at what I just said myself, like because that whole thing where I'm rambling as Rocky as to learn, be like, then I punch myself in the face, my fucking face is bleeding. Yeah, like I think I rambled for like 3 minutes straight and then just cracked up laughing at the end.
Like his eye was meatball and I just is because I thought his face was a spaghetti. Like, my mom didn't laugh through any of that, but she laughed when he said, like, fuck. So I was like, Mom,
good.
Your sense of humor is crass and childish. And I gave her a speech. This is not okay.
People have told me that a lot, too, that, like, they'll, like, play one of my videos for their friends, and then their friend won't think it's funny at all.
Yeah, it's
that happens a lot.
It's annoying because you're like, especially during that, like with your type of comedy, when other people aren't laughing, it makes your stuff funnier, which is weird. it's like you can see from the angle that they're looking at it why it would be so unfunny, and that makes it funnier to you. And then it's just it doesn't. I don't know. I need to show it to more people to have more reactions than just my mom, but.
I kind of like the idea of people getting mad at the tutorial videos. Like, because they're so like, to me, they're just so like harmless and this weird character, like just breaking his own property. Like,
have you ever seen Alan Tutorials videos?
No, that's another one where I've like heard the name, but I like it kind of intentionally didn't watch him. Just I was like worried that I'd be influenced by them in some way.
You won't.
So I never actually watched him.
You won't be influenced by him. It's like what you do, but more psychopathic. Like there's hardly any talking. Most of the time he's covered in shit and just dirt and everything, and he's just like destroying everything around him. Like, it's too insane. It doesn't. None of it makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I could destroy more. I wish I had more stuff to break, That's partly why there hasn't been a lot of tutorial videos, because I ran out of things to break.
I can imagine you just like have one plate and one bowl left for cereal. You're just like, fuck, I need to eat tomorrow. Can't.
Oh yeah, that chair that I cut up, to go back to that, like there was actually two of them, because like the whole weird, I did a weird thing in one of those videos where like I again, I haven't watched it in a while, but I like did some kind of like traveled back in time to fix the chair or something in one of the videos.
Yeah.
So like people think that like I planned this stuff out, but not really. Like I had a second chair that hadn't been cut up yet, and then I immediately cut it up after I fixed it.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, a lot of people think sometimes that I plan out a lot of the things in those videos, but I really never planned any of it out at all. And it was always just built. It's more just building on.
Okay, yeah.
It's always just building on what I've done before rather than planning ahead and stuff.
Yeah, I think if you look at your channel with that information, like everything starts to make sense, because it literally is just like just an idea that started off kind of crazy with like Space Tree, and then to now where it's just like way crazier, and that's kind of what I like about it. It's like now we're just getting to this. I kind of wish his painting persona had stayed throughout Moonface. Like, I wish that he was painting more moons towards the end, because that's like my favorite part, when he's just like drawing.
Oh yeah.
The moon.
Oh yeah. So we didn't really. You kind of asked about like the origin of the Moonface. I think we kind of got off that, because it kind of started as like it was kind of like a ripoff of like Armageddon, the movie, where like they had to get these normal guys who were like were they like oil drillers or something to go drill into an asteroid. And so like the idea was that they were getting these just normal people to draw a face on the moon. Like, just made it more ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then as I like, when I first wrote it, it was going to be all like new characters and stuff that I didn't like as much. And I thought, why didn't I just use all the characters that I already have that exist and just put them together?
Yeah. And like the chef is the Chinese guy from the old thing, which his character never made sense ever. It's just like the black tar heroin bit is hilarious.
Black tar heroin. That voice is pretty fun to do as well.
It looks like you mostly just have fun making the videos. And then I don't know, do you like animating at all, or is it more just like this tedious thing that you do?
I mean, I like it sometimes, and it is also tedious a lot of the time, but I don't know. It's just it takes so long and it's so much work. I don't know if I really have the like totally like have the passion for it like a lot of real animators do.
Yeah.
You like spend like hours at a time on stuff. I don't know if I can really do that as much anymore.
I wholeheartedly agree. I enjoy like writing and making the stuff happen, and if I could, I'd be like, do this for me, and then they'd do it.
Yeah.
And that's how that would go. So that's the ideal world. Coming back to the real world.
I really like. I respect animation. I like it a lot, but I just don't have the passion for it, I guess, to make really, really like amazing cartoons.
Does anybody like inspire your work, or is it more just kind of an amalgamation of who you are?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm inspired by like just different like movies and TV shows that I watch. Although I feel like probably like The Simpsons is probably like the earliest, biggest inspiration, because I watched that so much.
Yeah. So with movies, like, would it also kind of just be like you watch something serious and you're like, oh, I could parody that and make it stupid?
I guess I kind of, I don't know, like the stuff that I mostly like influenced by isn't even like cartoons really. It's just like I know there's some stuff in like Moonface where I'm kind of like trying to imitate or do my version of like a scene that I saw in like Breaking Bad or something. Like it's so like, no way. But like it's been like so like warped and put through my weird whatever filter, and like so nobody would ever look at it and think, oh, that's like a scene from Hannibal or whatever. Like, I
would love it if you just like came out and told me like Moonface has this really dark subtext and it's just like insanely gruesome.
Well, some of it does. I mean, a lot of the stuff with the like tutorial character, there's like a dark like subtext, and like whenever that character mentions like his grandpa and shit, and like his childhood, that's always really, really messed up. But like the character himself can only, he's not even like fully aware of how bad his life is. Like,
yeah, it's kind of like, just very dark humor like that. So with all your stuff, it's all like built off of one another. Have you ever kind of looked back and been like, hey, I want to do something insanely different? Or are you just like...
Yeah, I kind of do. Like, because I've also been, I don't even know if you know about this. I do this webcomic as well.
Oh, I did
Where's
not
My
know
Shoe?
About that. Oh, no, I have seen that. But didn't you take that and make that into the animated series?
Yeah, there's little animated ones, but that started off as a first. Okay. You can look up, just look up where'smyshoe.com. right now and just want to see what it looks like.
Got it.
But that comic started like so long ago, and like I kind of just recently started working on it again, like after years of not doing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the thing is like this long, like convoluted, ongoing story with all these characters.
But isn't Stella also in that story?
Yeah, that's where Stella originated from those comics. Also, all those characters in the comics, like I was doing those comics before I ever did the animated ones, so like I didn't know what their voices sounded like. That was made up later.
Okay, got it. But like,
so there's a lot of comics where I had like, I've got like the Charlie the Chinese character, and like I had no idea how ridiculous his voice was back then.
He's gonna sound like Italian.
Yeah. And I think the way I wrote that character kind of changed in the comics, like after I gave him a voice, like now that I know what he sounds like.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like you're just basically a guy who likes to write or improv stuff, and then the animation is just like another medium, like a comic.
Yeah, I guess so. Pretty much. It's more like about like, it's a way I can make stuff like and do it all myself. Yeah. I don't have to worry about, and I don't have to annoy other people. I can do it. I can do all the voices myself and just draw it myself.
Have you ever had any like bigger dreams for Moonface, or just a series of yours, like an animated TV show or something like that?
Maybe at some point. I don't know. Not really now though. Yeah. I guess I just like I'll never. I don't know if I'd really want to like run like my own TV show. Like I think it would be cool to work on a TV show. I'd want to do that. I wouldn't want to be like the one running it though. Does that make sense?
You wouldn't want to be like the one heading it?
Yeah, I don't think so.
How come?
I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could handle it. It's like it seems like a lot of work. I'm too lazy.
I was watching. Do you watch Rick and Morty?
Oh yeah, I watch that.
I feel like you would love that. But I was just watching a Justin Roiland interview, and he was saying like when he goes into the booth and records like just back and forth between Rick and Morty, one, like it's like mostly improv, and two, it's just him in the booth for like 4 hours as he gets progressively more hammered. So like when you see like the TV episode where it's just a bunch of improv crazy TV shows, that's just like Justin getting super drunk and saying a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah, you can kind of like tell like a lot of the stuff that like Rick says in the show, like you can't really write that stuff out. Yeah, like exactly. It's insane ranting, and I watched the season premiere just a few days ago. It's hilarious.
Man, it's amazing, and it's just like
that final scene where Rick is just yelling for like a whole minute and just drool is coming out of his mouth all over the place.
Yeah. Do you ever like I know you just basically record yourself for a long time, but have you ever intoxicatedly recorded yourself and uploaded a video?
Not really, because like it's harder for me to do voices if I'm like a little drunk. I've noticed like it's hard. I don't know. It's like I've been like kind of a little drunk before and tried to do character voices, and it's harder for me to do this voice.
I think it's because that voice takes a lot out of your breath. It's like
it takes a little bit of effort.
Yeah. Well, Justin's just, I don't know how he does the Rick and Morty voice. He's just a beast, you know. So
yeah, the 2-2 voice kind of, if I do it for like a long time, it gets a little exhausting. Yeah. For like I guess that Rocky one that I just did is because I'm switching back and forth between voices. Like the Stallone one's like real easy to do.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's like because he just like mumbles all the time. You know, let's get in the boxing. You know, punch me in the
face. You are pretty good at the Stallone impersonation. You did like the celebrity impersonations video, which is like the only video of you on your channel. Why did you decide to make that?
It was like most of the stuff I make, it like was just kind of in the moment kind of thing. I was like, yeah, I guess like I thought I looked okay that day, so I was like, yeah, I'll get on camera and make the screen all blurry so you can't really see what I look like.
Yeah. Also,
I'm like not to like ruin the magic. I'm like wearing a wig as well, and like
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, man. And like so I'm kind of pretty much wearing a costume in that video.
God,
you can't really tell what I look like.
I thought I knew the real Ed Atlin's face and body.
No. But also, I kind of that's like maybe one video I kind of regret, because I think if I'd really like thought through and maybe planned it out a little more, because it's like the one video where I'm on camera. I think I could have done something funnier with it. Yeah. If I'd really thought it through instead of just kind of in the moment doing it.
I mean, it's an old video. You have like another chance to actually make a really good one.
Yeah, I could always do another one.
Yeah. You also
I did already have that wig for like a year before then, because I just bought it at some point thinking maybe I'll use this someday.
That's what I kind of do. I see stuff and I'm just like, oh, that's could be useful. This grenade, I'll keep it in my house, and then it just stays in a cupboard. So you have just all this stuff that you're doing. So the webcomic, which I did know about, but with the webcomic, has it kind of evolved into something like completely different from anything on the YouTube channel?
It's much more of like it's a real like ongoing, complicated, convoluted story. Like I intentionally make it as like convoluted as I can. This like it's like the other stuff I do. It's just really just characters talking back and forth to each other.
Okay, and is it still like mainly comedy, or does it evolve into other things?
Oh yeah, it's all just ridiculous, and it's never like really serious or anything.
Have you ever thought about writing something serious, or do you just prefer to do your own thing?
I think I've kind of tried before, and it always, I don't know, I can never I always have to put something silly in there. Like even in the Where's My Shoe comic, there's also like there's like dark stuff happening. Like one of the main characters is like a serial killer and stuff. But like it's always just like the dialogue is always really ridiculous.
Yeah, I found with stuff that I've written, it's like this super dark situation. Like people will be dying, but like it's just like they die in such retarded ways that it's like you can't help but laugh.
Yeah, there's also a lot of the stuff that I make is also just kind of scattered on different websites. So here's another comic that you probably don't know about. Look up Tea Bros. Tea Bros.
Is that why we have like
TEA
boxes of
Bros.
tea?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Tea Bros I did do an animated version, but there's a comic as well of that. If you want to just look that up right now, because that's pretty different from like
Tea Bros.
The Tea Bros comic.
This is like is the first thing that comes up is like commercial display freezer. How do you spell it?
Oh, it'll be tbros.tumblr.com is the comic.
Okay, .tumblr. Okay, got me on refrigerators and shit.
But see that the Tea Bros comic is kind of like the opposite of the Where's My Shoe comic. Like there's like no ongoing story at all. Like
I've seen the animated version of this.
Yeah, like the characters in the Tea Bros characters can just die or morph into a monster in every comic. Like it doesn't matter. Like there's no like continuity or story or anything.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to have stuff like that because sometimes you just have a random idea that can't fit into the continuity, and you're like, okay, just dump it.
Yeah.
Here. What has been your favorite thing to make or that you have made so far?
Oh man,
over all the years.
Favorite thing to make,
or what are you most proud of? It doesn't even have to be a thing. It could be like a certain episode. It could be like a certain, just a world you created, a character that has evolved, stuff like that.
I'd say like in general, like the Moonface is kind of, because there's like a lot more put into that than a lot of the other stuff I do. It's a lot more complicated.
Did you write out
I
all
do
of
kind of like that
before you set out to do it?
Did I write it all out?
Did you write it all out before like you started, or no?
No, I really only wrote like one episode at a time.
Okay, got it.
There were like certain little details I kind of thought like I'll do this later, but then there's like a lot of it was just kind of like figured out as I went along. Like I didn't know. I think, and there's even like ideas I had in the beginning that like I thought maybe I'd kind of switch out some of the characters as I went along and like wouldn't have the same cast every time, but I kind of
just like the crew.
I kind of liked the characters that I had there and thought I would explore what I can.
Yeah,
with those characters.
With making all these cartoons over the years and like amassing, a pretty sizable audience, even if you didn't market yourself very well, it still got out there. How did that feel? Like, what was that like?
Oh, it's great. It's always great when like people respond to something that you created. Like all the like fan art and stuff, the fan art that people have sent me is amazing. Like the the quantity and the quality of it. There's just so much of it, and a lot of it's great. And like some of the like stuff, see, people have like physically sent me stuff that they made as well that I've got like hanging up on the wall and stuff.
Oh, that's
it's
awesome. So I mean, when people can't come over, you can't really hide your work. You're just like, oh, hey, what's that
but you know,
painting?
People generally don't even question it though. Like they don't want to mention it. They're like, if you look at like my refrigerator, it's like all like there's like tutu and candy slots things stuck to it that people have sent me, but like nobody ever like questions it if they're over here.
That's like candy slots like covered in blood. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm just not gonna mention that.
Someone even made a candy slots like doll.
Yeah, I saw that in the background of the video because somebody left a comment saying it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
That is awesome. Just like people, and Candy Slows is such a character. I mean, he's just like
that's
a demon.
One of the weirdest, hardest to explain characters.
I don't know what he is, but he's Tutu's best friend, and
it's
and he makes an appearance in Moonface once for some reason.
It's like she's like a character that only exists,
and it's a she.
Like Tutu.
Why? Like what? She's like she's like a weird like inhuman monster. So it's like, can you even really put a gender on that? I don't know, but she's like an entity that was created by Tutu. Okay.
Let's see. Like I'm trying to like explain what Candy Slows is.
Yeah.
She's the opposite of Sandy Claus.
Okay. That makes more sense. I'm assuming there's like some backstory to this, whether it be like in a tutorial or an old fucking episode of whatever or comic. But
yeah, I think I can actually find so Tutu and Candy Slows, those characters originate in one of the tutorial videos. I'm pretty sure it's the one that is called, here it is, comic book tutorial.
Okay.
That's got to be the first one because it's like they're characters that were created by the tutorial guy character, just to make it more confusing.
Okay. So it's like everything kind of also like files back on itself. So it's just like, what is happening? But that it makes it so amazing that like Moonface is somehow connected to tutorial, which like at a first glance you wouldn't think that any of it was connected, except for the animations because the characters, but like the tutorial kind of just seems like this offshoot that you decided to do, but it's actually like where everything came from.
Yeah, there's such a like weird like backstory to and like mythology to it all that like I sometimes wonder if like anybody understands it, including myself, like because it's just so confusing, a lot of it.
One of the fans should do what like the Filthy Frank fans do and just make like an hour-long lore video about your channel. They did that for
that'd be pretty
tutorial
great.
too. They have those. I feel like one of those channels. They have channels that like do like Alan Tutorial Explained, which is like they found like a super deep meaning behind Alan Tutorial. I didn't watch it because Alan Tutorial is insane, and I prefer it to not make sense and not be deep and freaky. But
I would like to have someone else explain like their interpretation of what some of the things with Tutu and Candy Slows and the Moonface and characters and stuff, because I like that more than just me explaining what I think it means. Like also what I say, like it's not like what if I just because I say like this is what I think Candy Slows is thinking, like that doesn't make it definitively true. Like you could interpret it however you want.
Exactly.
A lot of the stuff today.
I mean, it's like the million salad fingers interpretations that come up.
Oh yeah.
And the film theory one, like that was so cool to watch, but then David Firth is just like makes a comment. He's like, "Nope, you're wrong." I'm just like, "All right, sweet, nice." But it's like with Salad Fingers, the part that intrigued me so much was that none of it made sense.
Does none of it make sense, or does it all make so much sense that you can't even see it?
Salad Fingers was really a character made in the tutorial video.
That like there is stuff that I make that other people just think it's like crazy nonsense, but like there is like a logic to it, like what the tutorial character is thinking, like when he makes things.
Is any of
it, like
okay, go ahead.
I just like when that character is drawing something that he like in that character's head, it makes sense what he's doing, like to me.
Okay. Is any of it like an outlet for like some weird dark place where you're like, oh, I just want to break something and be stupid, like?
Oh yeah, probably. Like it's always fun to do that character, and like as that character, I can just say whatever dumb thing I want to say and like mispronounce words and not worry about being right about anything. So like,
just kind of have freedom, because that's like a character that if anyone does judge him, it's retarded, because the character in itself is so ridiculous.
And also the character is like there's nothing like mean about that character. Like he doesn't have any like bad intentions really. So like,
he just wants to teach you how to make a snow. Did you ever cut your hand on the glass?
Oh yeah, so that's kind of the origin of why he wears Band-Aids too, because in one of the earliest videos, I think it's actually the Santa Claus one, which is like the most popular one.
Wasn't it the snow globe? Or am I wrong?
Oh, you're right. Actually, the snow globe kind of overtook it at some point. But in the Santa Claus one, I smashed the coffee pot.
Oh, right. Okay.
And a little piece of it like cut my finger or something.
That just became a meme.
So I think that was the first time I put on a Band-Aid during a video, and then since then he just kept cutting his fingers, I guess, so, to the point where he's just covered in Band-Aids constantly.
Did you actually like cut your finger after that, like just for bits? Like,
oh, I didn't think I ever did after that. That was like I didn't think I ever cut my finger on purpose just for a video.
But when you were like handling the snow globe, like there was glass everywhere. I was like, it was hard to watch. You were just like grabbing broken glass and shoving it inside. I'm like, what are you doing? You crazy man.
I guess I just know how to handle broken glass at that point. You know, I was an old pro at picking up pieces of broken glass, and
looky
it was all good. I think that snow globe one, I think, is also the only one where I wrote something down before doing it, because there's like that part where he's like, how does it feel to be trapped in your snowy prison? Like that whole weird little monologue. I think I actually wrote that down before doing the video. It's like the only time.
It gets super just dark and real. He's just like, man.
I always like hinting at that character's like backstory as well, like rather than there's never like a definitive like explanation of things that have happened in his past. It's like it's always told from that character's point of view as well.
Yeah, and the good thing about it is you can just add whatever you want to that like backstory. Yeah, just throw like whatever tidbit in.
He always mentions like being in an orphanage and like there's his grandpa and his grandpa and all that. Like, but there's never, because it's all told from that character's perspective. There's never really an exact
unreliable information.
Yeah, he's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah. So, what has been your like best experience since you started this whole thing? Like the coolest thing that's happened because of it.
Oh, it's probably like what I mentioned before, just the fan art and stuff that people have sent me. I just like that stuff.
Have you got anything like really cool. Super weird?
Let's see. I don't know if I would say it's super weird. It's super cool. This what do you even call it? It's like a collage someone made. It's really awesome. It's got like the tutu character, like it's a little like cardboard cutout of him, like drawing stuff, and there's like all different related images all over it. I'm looking at it right now, by the way. It's up on the wall. So
okay, nice. So does what you do kind of allow you to use your like comedy skills, or is this just like a hobby?
I guess both. I mean, it's like my only like outlet to do this kind of weird creative stuff. Yeah. Like I didn't go out in real life like doing character voices and stuff. Really,
well, no. But
like,
say if you had a job where you were like writing for a comedy show, you know, that would utilize your strengths.
It probably would, yeah. Like I probably if I actually had a job where I did like creative writing and voices and stuff, like I don't know if the tutu character wouldn't exist. Maybe, who knows?
Oh man, I don't want to think of a world like that.
I don't want to live in that world. Oh. Another thing that people have sent me is like Band-Aids. Like I ended up with so many Band-Aids.
Oh, no way.
It was great. I used to have a PO box back when I was doing tutorial videos more frequently. So a few people sent Band-Aids. Like any of the videos where I'm wearing a Band-Aid that has like cartoon characters printed on it, those were sent to me by someone.
Okay, I was going to say, were there any used Band-Aids? Because that would have just been cruel.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that's too hardcore.
Yeah, for real. So, when do you think we'll get the next Moonface? It's just I just train wrecked Tutu.
Oh, is that your impression of him?
I think I could do a little bit better. One second.
Okay.
I was just drawing a moon. Ah, fuck. Do it first. That is just I'm embarrassing myself.
Well, I was just trying to do that voice.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm embarrassing myself.
Yeah, I guess I've heard some people do pretty good impressions of it. I guess you got to have the right like throat muscles or something. I don't know.
Gotta have that right like guttural. I was doing it better in the car. I think I'm just, it's not the right time. I can't.
And it's not like a voice that it's not like a voice that I've always done either. Like I only really started doing it. But like I mentioned earlier, it kind of evolved from that Iglooser voice. Yeah. And then morphed into what it is now.
What inspired you to like make your first cartoon?
I guess just like I wanted just watching stuff like The Simpsons or whatever and wanting to make some kind of my own like world with characters and stuff in it, but like and really like animating was the only way I could do it.
Yeah.
Cause like I had to like make it all by myself and stuff.
Yeah. I get that. And after so long, like I know you say like it's, you don't like to have friends see it and stuff or talk about it, but it's like after like so long and so many episodes, you must be like super proud of what you've put out at this point, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like all that stuff, but I really only like show it to people like over the internet, I guess, because I've got that little layer of anonymity. And
it's also like your
I have
audience.
to say that word.
It's like knowing your audience. Like you could relate to people who like your stuff and your type of humor, but like somebody in person, like you could probably just show them the Tutu voice and shit, and they're just it's not funny at all. What are you doing?
Yeah, not everyone. Not everyone thinks it's so hilarious,
Yeah, exactly.
Some people listen to it like, "What the fuck is this nonsense?" But there are people who only like cartoons that I've made and don't care about the tutorial videos, and vice versa as well. So that's fine.
It's weird because it's a very similar brand of humor. Like it's all very you at the end of the day. So it'd be funny that people like don't like one thing. And
I even directly tied them together by having the tutorial character in
like
Moonface.
They're so inseparable, right? It just doesn't make sense.
Like, oh, you don't like this character? Well, look at him now.
And like Tutu is the tutorial guy. Like what?
Yeah, I left it a little vague. Like I don't know if the Tutu character in Moonface, I don't know if he's literally the guy who made all those tutorial videos, but he could be. I left it vague on purpose.
Maybe he's like a different dimension where he's real or 3D, should I say? Yeah,
there's a few different versions of Tutu. It's like there's the guy who makes the tutorial videos, and then there's like the Tutu and Candy Slaws, like cartoony version.
Tutu.
Yeah, and that takes place in like this weird fantasy world where there's like this one-eyed baby and Candy Slaws is walking around doing weird shit.
Like never dies.
Yeah, and then there's like the other version of Tutu is the one in Moonface.
But and then it's just like this dumb little fat dude.
And also, the tutorial character doesn't really like ever say his own name in those videos. So like, people refer to him as Tutu because of the cartoon stuff, and also they refer to him just as Atlin. Like so, like there's a weird like confusion there. There's like a blurring of character and reality or whatever.
Yeah. So like. Things like burrito. What like did that just come from you saying it and probably laughing and you're like, I'm keeping this. This is
it's another one of those things where like at some point the Tutu character mention that he likes burritos, and then it continued. Now that's just a part of his character. I didn't even know what the origin of the burrito thing is.
He turns into one.
Yeah, because it would have been my Instagram account is at Atlin Burritos, by the way. But I'm pretty sure I made that after. Yeah, it used to be just like me taking photos of burritos. Was that in my Instagram?
Really? Oh,
yeah,
man.
You can look it up. Yeah, look it up now. You'll scroll down to like
spicy sauce.
but I think I made that Instagram account after the burritos were already part of his character. So like I don't know. Actually, isn't there like an early tutorial video where he's like, he's like, I'm gonna show you how to make a burrito.
it's definitely possible, but like you, there's so many that I have no idea.
Yeah, I've got the playlist open. There's 58 tutorial videos, so like I don't remember what happened in all of them.
Yeah, and they're all like years. I just stuttered a little bit. But how long has it been before the thinking about Patinkin since you've made like a video?
Oh, there was like a year, I think, at least.
Yeah.
But just between for a long time, the last video on my channel was that Rocky's Friends.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, that one's
the one with Rocky at the graveyard. I mean, I must have made that. I made that like right after I saw Creed. Because it was kind of
okay.
Because there's a scene in Creed where he visits the grave of Adrian and Paulie, and I was just thinking like with every Rocky movie, he's going to add like another Rocky character next to each other at the graveyard. That's kind of what inspired that video.
Yeah. Got you some spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I love it in the Rocky Talking with Rocky when they say spaghetti like 5 times over. I like to know.
Oh yeah, I recorded like way more than 5. There was like a full like minute of just back and forth going spaghetti, and then like I decided to cut it down to just a couple times.
I like didn't want to look at my mom when that part was happening. I was laughing, but I don't know if she was. I think she might have just been like, I think she might have just been thinking like she said she really liked it, but I don't know. I feel like she liked the actual wordplay jokiness rather than just the character.
Yeah, it's also weird. Like the thinking about Patinkin, that just came up because I was talking to someone.
Now I am recording you. Okay, the Adobe Audition froze on me because things like to crash on this show, as you can tell.
And now we're back.
But luckily, unlike GarageBand, which is the worst application on the planet, it doesn't lose your save files. It keeps them, so I'm thankful.
Yeah, I've never actually recorded in GarageBand. But I use like stock music from GarageBand all the time.
Don't ever record anything lengthy in GarageBand. I've had situations where like I recorded for like an hour, just lost everything, then recorded for like 30 minutes. Episode 10 of this podcast we recorded 4 times because just kept crashing on us. It was terrible.
Do you want to talk about the more like technical, what programs we use? Is that interesting? Because
just the nitty gritty.
I actually do think that might be interesting to some people listening. Like I didn't actually use GarageBand to record, but I use the stock audio sound clips and music from GarageBand all the time.
Do you make the music for the Moonface?
Some like little pieces of it I made, but like I don't really know anything about music, so like it's mostly like just stock music and like loops that I mix together and stuff.
But what about the classic Sam Rockwell?
Yeah, that is just like I found like a couple of different loops that was actually in GarageBand.
Okay,
that was like I got the music from GarageBand of like just a loop of like do 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 do, and then I just like found one that I could repeat Sam Rockwell's name over the top of. But I haven't really made any like real music. Okay. The Sam Rockwell's the closest thing to a song that I made.
That is real music. It's a certified hood classic.
That's why there's so many like a lot of the time I've recorded like singing. I always like singing in the tutu voice, but like it's usually like over karaoke versions of other people's songs.
The tutu voice sounds just wildly funny to do, or wildly fun to do, just all the time. So I'm gonna sit in my room alone until it's doable on a podcast, and then I'll be tutu. I'll just like assume your identity, essentially.
Oh, that was actually so. I guess the first appearance of Moonface was him singing "Little Moonface, I see you up in the fucking sky." So that would have been the first appearance of that.
Oh wow, nice.
There is a whole. I don't know if you've seen it because it might be blocked on YouTube, but I sang. I got the instrumental of "Here Comes the Sun" and I sang "Here Comes the Moon" over the whole thing.
I need to see that. That sounds amazing.
Look that up now. See if it's because it was like blocked in some places because obviously I'm using Beatles music or whatever. So.
You called it "Here Comes the Moon"?
Yeah, if you search like "Here Comes the Moon" at Atlin, I'm sure it'll show up, or it won't show up if it's blocked. Because I'm actually, I can't even find it.
It comes up in the search. It's like recommended, but it's not here. So
if you Google it on Google,
is it 10 years old?
It might actually be on Tumblr.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what? It's called maybe "Ode to Moonface." That was like the alternate title.
Okay, got it.
It looks. Yeah, if you Google it, you'll find it. There's an MP3 version as well and stuff.
Okay, I just searched up "Ode to Moonface," but no, it's not here either. So it's probably I'll Google it.
Yeah, I just Googled Ed Atlin, "Here Comes," you'll find it. It's on Tumblr.
Awesome.
There's an audio version, so. But yeah, that was. There's a lot of different like me singing like over other people's music in that voice, but it's like a lot of them I can't put them on YouTube because it's like copyrighted music. So I just put them on Tumblr or something.
Yeah. You also have like your own podcast. Is it basically like a live? I didn't listen to it because, as I said, I've seen Bates Motel and I eventually want to get back to it. But
so this podcast I do, Commentary Track Baby. That's just like I needed like somewhere to talk about. I watch a lot of TV shows and like want to talk about, but like I don't know anybody who watches Bates Motel. So like for example,
I'm stuck on season 3. So is it worth watching past basically like after Norman goes to jail, spoiler alert, and does like the lie detector test, what I'm talking about?
It definitely is.
It gets better because like it got like
season
weird
4,
and I was just like
Yeah, season 4 is really when it became like one of my favorite shows.
Really? Okay.
And now the current season is the final season of the show, and it's been fucking crazy good this final season.
Then I
guess I
have to check it out now.
Well, like I just had to talk about it somewhere, and so I'll talk about it into a microphone and then upload it for whoever wants to listen to it, basically.
So like, is it basically like a live reaction to the show, or do you just take the episode you just saw and talk about it?
Oh yeah, I watch the episode first, just normally, and then I'll kind of watch it again and do like commentary over the whole thing.
Got it.
Like I do it that way because that way I can do it like by myself.
Yeah.
And also just there's not really like I listen to other TV show podcasts and that no other ones really do like a commentary track format. So I thought it's a way of doing something different. But yeah, if I do put it up there, and I think like you don't need to listen to this if you don't care about that show. Like, and I've done other episodes about other TV shows and movies too. Like I did a commentary on like Terminator 3, just because I wanted to revisit that movie.
So it's basically just for you, and if people like it, people like it.
Yeah, and there's been a few that I've done with other people though as well. Like,
got it.
Me and do you know who Michael Cusack? He's a animator on YouTube. Him and me and him, we did like recaps of seasons of The Simpsons.
Oh no shit!
And like they're like 3-hour long podcasts too. They're really long. Like
it's like the Joe Rogan experience.
Yeah, he does. I really like super long podcasts. So that was really fun to do. We covered like 7 seasons of The Simpsons. If you ever. They're the like most popular ones.
Okay.
Of Commentary Track Baby by far. They're the ones that like people actually listen to.
Yeah, I might have to check that out because it sounds just straight Simpsons talk the whole time.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 4 hours of just Simpson talk.
I could do that with
like
Family Guy. I haven't seen enough Simpsons.
Really?
But yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, me and Cusack have both kind of like just always watched The Simpsons, so pretty easy to talk about those early seasons.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I grew up on Family. Like, I've seen every episode of like Family Guy, American Dad, and South Park like innumerable times.
Okay, wow. I've seen every South Park, not as much Family Guy.
American Dad is the better one of the two, I must say.
Yeah, I've heard that. But it actually, we also did commentary on the Simpsons Family Guy crossover. So we kind of talked. Really? We talked a bit about like Family Guy and American Dad in general, and like I haven't watched Family Guy in years really, so I don't really. And like I also haven't seen American Dad since like the first season, so I don't really know anything about those shows.
Yeah, I don't love the crossover. American Dad's a show that's gotten so much better. Now it's like getting boring, but it had a real golden age over Family Guy where it was just shining.
Yeah, that was a show that I didn't even realize it was still airing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Actually, yeah, that's how it came up when we did that commentary. 'Cause I think we both thought American Dad wasn't even airing anymore, and like we looked it up during the commentary. And like, holy shit, it's season 14 or whatever. It's just there, and like,
yeah, Seth MacFarlane is just like, he's crazy. He's a crazy person. Family Guy's been on like forever, and it's still going. American Dad, same thing, making movies. Yeah,
I watched like the early seasons of Family Guy back when they aired, and then when it came back, I just kind of stopped watching it pretty quickly.
I mean, those were some of the funniest seasons. You know, I'd say around like season 7, it got awful. So
yeah,
it's definitely.
Yeah, I'm not like a Family Guy hater. I just don't watch it really.
Yeah.
I
feel you. It did definitely become something that was cool to hate on.
Yeah. But I guess the only like animated shows that I watch are like Rick and Morty and Venture Brothers and Archer, I think. Yeah. Kind of the top 3 that I watch all the time.
I've seen Archer. It's hilarious. I should watch more, but I just don't. Bob's Burgers, quality television.
I really like the writing style in Archer. Is kind of a kind of style that I would try to imitate sometimes. Because a lot of that is like these characters just talking to each other. Like I've sometimes put Archer on in the background and just listened to it.
And it's also just like people being pricks to each other, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that's true.
I love the bits when you have like Stella, the people who hang around her, Julius and Candy, I think it is, and they're just like, "Oh, you fooled her so good. You should have seen her face." Just like every single time, she's just like, "No."
The Stella was so shocked one, right?
But like that's like a recurring theme.
Yeah, it's that like Stella always has like a neutral expression on her face all the time.
Yeah, and they're always
so like everyone's like, "Whoa, Stella's so shocked!" Like, regardless of how like little of a reaction she has to anything.
Yeah. So funny. Well, this has been Ed Atlin, aka Tutu. You know what I would love? I would love it if Tutu was the real you and Ed Atlin was a character that you created to seem normal.
This is the real. Like, this is a fake voice I'm doing right now.
It takes so much.
That's why
effort.
That's why I hardly sound Australian because it's a fake voice.
Exactly. People, did you know he was
real voice?
I would love to see him just like in a business setting talking like that. Just like super professional setting. They're just like, yeah. So what qualifies you for the job, sir?
I'm real good at TPS reports. I know how to use a stapler.
It's like, so that's cool. The special ed class is actually next door.
Hey, can I make photocopies in your fax machine?
Susan, can you please just get somebody? he's using the fax machine.
Whoa, is that a real water cooler? Can I fill it up with the burrito sauce?
I was actually just it just registered what you said to me. But I was just watching, have you ever heard of Out in the Box?
Al in the Box? That sounds familiar.
He's made YouTube videos that are like super obscure. He's got like 1,000 subscribers, but he made a YouTube video about like a water cooler going empty, and like the whole business like stays inside while they like figure out who drank the last cup of water, and it's like this whole conspiracy, and it's hilarious.
All right, I gotta check that out.
Yeah. Well, Tutu, do you have anything left to tell the people?
Well, I got nothing. And I think I got nothing either. Have we covered everything, I guess? There's a lot of talking about myself, and yeah.
I think that's the point, man.
Did we covered Instagram, which I never update. We got at Atlin.tumblr.com.
Both the comic websites.
If you scroll through the Ed Atlin Tumblr, there's a lot of like hidden gems in there, I think. Like you can hear like Tutu singing the Full House theme song, stuff like that stuff that I like would post on YouTube, but like I always think it's gonna get
I think
copyright.
You can post those parody stuffs on YouTube though, especially if you're singing it.
I think it like sometimes triggers the copyrights because I'm just literally taking someone else's music and
you know what you should do? You should do a voiceover instrumental in Tutu's voice. Because that would just add to it.
Wait, do you mean like he's like doing the
music as well? Like it's another track.
He's just like do
yeah, exactly.
Like, in the background.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff now that Twitter allows videos, I put up some like stuff on there that just little dumb videos that I couldn't put on YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's pretty useful now.
We'll have
that stuff all gets like. It all gets lost to the ages as well, though.
Yeah, exactly. You can't really track Twitter. Well, all his stuff will be linked in the description.
That's a lot of links.
Yeah, it's all gonna be there. Yeah.
And yeah, if you want to hear me talk about a TV show that you haven't seen, check out Commentary Track Baby.
What episode are they on Bates Motel? Are they almost done?
There's 3 episodes left in the whole season.
Okay, then I don't have a chance of catching up in time. It's like 3 weeks, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, they do 10 episodes a season. Just watch season 4 and 5. It's been like really good.
If I catch up in time, you want to let me talk about the last episode with you?
Oh, that'd be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
I only do those commentaries by myself, like out of necessity. Like it would be cool to do a Bates Motel special episode.
Okay.
Also, have you seen like Psycho?
Yeah. I've seen the one with Vince Vaughn, which is just terrible, and I've seen
the remake. Yeah,
I've seen the original in pieces, but yeah, so I know what happens.
Okay, because in the last season of Bates Motel, they actually get into things that happen in Psycho, and like they're kind of doing like their own like reimagined version of Psycho in the TV show.
Oh no shit! Okay,
it's been really. Yeah, it's been really interesting.
At first, I thought it might have been like a prequel to Psycho, so that's...
Oh, it is. Like, the whole thing has been a prequel to it, but they basically caught up in the timeline.
Okay, cool.
But it's also like their own...
Yeah, they definitely
like, reimagined version.
Of course.
Yeah, like there's characters that are not in Psycho and stuff.
Yeah, like...
in the show.
Derek and the dad and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, that's Bates Motel. I'm sure.
Yeah.
A show that like people listening probably haven't seen.
And this conversation just enticed them to listen to a podcast about it. Okay.
Actually, I'd say go listen to the Simpson ones.
Yeah.
Of Commentary Track Baby. They're the better episodes.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut here. Just quick. You have 5 seconds.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna go eat the burrito.
Cut off and